Bonjour, bienvenidos, and willkommen. It's Eurovision week, and whilst I may have taken our EU membership away, they will never take away our Eurovision Song Contest. Now, obviously, you've already witnessed the thrilling spectacle of the United Kingdom's mighty rise to glory again in the Eurovision. So for now, well, you'll have to put up with this, won't you? And what could be more thrilling than watching a man mash his grains in? Come on! So now we've all settled down from the excitement of watching a man mash his grains in for the millionth time. I'm sure you're all wondering, Mick, you seem to like Eurovision. What are you brewing to commemorate this great occasion? Surely a German lager, maybe? Maybe even a pale ale using bar brewed hops from France? Maybe even some Bobek hops from Slovenia? No, American pale ale. I'll be honest, the beers that I've been brewing recently, been lots of fuggles kind of hops, East Kent goldings kind of hops. It's all been very kind of earthy, floral, hedgerowy kind of taste to them. All a bit much of a muchness, to be fair, and I'm about ready for some proper in-your-face tropical. So, what are we using? We're going with 300 grams of hops, just a pale ale. According to Brewfire, they're going to come out at 5.4%. We have got in there Pale Golden Promise. Now, I normally use Marisotta, but I thought I'll switch it up for a bit, so I've got some Golden Promise. So that's 4 kilograms of Golden Promise that'll be going in there. We've got about 350 grams of crystal malt going in there, which will be crystal 60, because that's what I tend to have. We've got another 200 grams of carapils. I always tend to put carapils in any of my pale ale kind of recipes. And then we've got 300 grams of Munich malt going in there. And then I think there was about 350 grams spare of some Marisotta that I've got left over. So just to get rid of it, I'll chuck that in there as well. So according to Brewfather, we should be looking at getting about 5.4% for this pale ale. Then hop-wise, like I said, nothing European. We've gone full-on American in your face. So what we got? We've got 100 grams, 100 grams Chinook, 100 grams of Eldorado, and not the crap TV series, and 100 grams of Strata, back again. Now, obviously, if you've been watching my channel for a few months, you'll have seen that I brewed a single hop ale with just Strata, and it was the first time I'd used them, and absolutely love that hop. I think they're on offer at the malt mill, maybe half price, stuff like that. So, got myself a pack of them. Now, when I brewed with the Strata, I got strawberry from it. There is other descriptors online for it. Grapefruit, cannabis, dankness, basically. But for me, strawberry was what I got from it. So I'm hoping to get strawberry from the Strata. Now, Chinook tends to be grapefruity, maybe a bit resiny, quite dank. So that's hopefully going to add a nice kind of bitter kind of bitterness to kind of balance out hopefully like the sweetness of the strawberry. And then Eldorado, a few descriptors for it, but the one that I'm hoping to get from it is pineapple. So like I said, I'm a bit fed up with kind of the earthy floral beers that I've been brewing recently. I want something that's proper in your face, tropical, fruity, kind of tropical fruit salad basically. So hopefully pineapple, grapefruit, strawberry. That's the plan. Now, yeast wise, I've never used it. I'm about 5 years behind the curve, but finally, I'm going to try some Voss Kvike ale yeast. Now, added bonus to this is that obviously you can throw it in at like 35, 40 degrees, which means for someone like me who's got a crap immersion chiller that takes forever to get down to pitching temperature, it does get down to like 37, 38 degrees quite quick. And then that means I can chuck the yeast straight in and hopefully it'll ferment out in about 3 or 4 days is the plan. A few things said that it's a kind of neutral yeast, but then I've read some other things that said lots of people get orange from it, which either way, if it does add some orange, then I'm all for that. That's fine. That'll fit in well with the flavours I'm already going for. And if not, then just the fact that I can chuck it in at 40 degrees and hopefully bit fermented out in 3 or 4 days, that'll do for me. So just waiting on my hour mash now, and then I'll get some footage of me doing some exciting hop drops and whatnot. Speaking of which, I should probably go through the hop schedule. So 60-minute boil for this one, and at that point we'll be going in with 10 grams of Chinook. Then with 15 minutes to go in the boil, I'm going to stick another 10 grams of Chinook in, 10 grams of Strata, 10 grams of Eldorado hops in. Then we'll be doing a 20-minute hop stand at 80 degrees. That'll be having 40 grams of Eldorado, 40 grams of Strata, and 30 grams of Chinook. Hopefully get some nice aromas off that one and some nice taste into the actual beer by not boiling it off. And then going to do a dry hop. It's a while since I actually dry hopped a beer as well, but basically there'll be 50 grams of Eldorado left, 50 grams of Chinook left, 50 grams of Strata left, and after about 4 days just going to chuck it all in for a dry hop, leave it in there for 3 or 4 days before sticking it into the keg and getting it all carved up. But yeah, like I said, I'll come back with some thrilling footage of me doing some hop drops, and then I'll probably be back with some numbers, let you know whether we're going to hit that 5.4% that we're going for. Well, that's brew day all done with, and I'll be honest, I don't think I've had a brew day go as smooth as that in a long time. Didn't even have a single issue, not even with the pump, no airlock, no nothing. It's now in the fermenter. The joy of using the Kvike yeast as well, so I managed to get down to about 38 degrees to pitch it, and it took maybe 10-12 minutes. Ordinarily, if I'm trying to get down to like 20 degrees to pitch a standard yeast, then I'd have been another half an hour, 3/4 of an hour trying to get it down. So hopefully the Kvike yeast works well on this beer, and I'll be able to use it more going forward. If it's going to save me half hour, 3/4 of an hour, then I'm all down for that. Numbers wise, Brewfather reckoned it was going to be 1052. Just took my gravity reading. You'll not be able to read that, but it's at 1056. So slightly higher, just means it's probably going to be like 5.5% instead of 5.4, but I can live with that. So like I said, fingers crossed for the Kvike yeast, it's all in there, and I will be back with a tasting video. Like I said, Kvike yeast probably take 4 or 5 days to ferment, another maybe 3 days when we dry up, then I'll get it kegged up and I'll be back with the tasting video. But as ever, you'll not have to wait because it'll be roundabout now. So the less said about Eurovision, the better. Not good. The beer, however, now I've drank about half of this keg already, so yeah, it's turned out all right. Um, Now I wanted a tropical, in-your-face fruit bomb. Like I said, the beers that I've been brewing recently have all been very much traditional English, so kind of hoppy, not hoppy, earthy, kind of fuggles, East Kent goldings, not that much, well, zero tropicalness to them. So I'm ready for something a bit different. So I was hoping that this beer would be the tropical fruit bomb in your face, and it is. Now, on the nose, yeah, actually got that tropical notes coming straight through to you. The beers I've been brewing recently have all been very malt forward, so it's very much just tasted like the tap rooms and things like that. Whereas this one, you can actually smell it's the hops that are coming through more than the malt. And the hops that are coming through are of the tropical notes. So you are getting that kind of pineapples, the predominant one that's coming through. Not so much the grapefruit or anything like that, it's predominantly pineapple on the nose. Now, on the taste, I know the hops that I was going with, so I went with Strata, which previously I've only had once before, and for me that was giving strawberry kind of vibes off. Although lots of descriptors online are for uh, passion fruit and cannabis kind of danky kind of notes coming from it. But when I brewed from it, originally I got strawberry from it. I was hoping that it'd be strawberry coming through again. I can't say that that's coming through this time for me. Now, this is the first time I've used Kvike yeast, and I was hoping, I'm someone who's not got like a fermentation fridge or anything like that. The main bonus for me for using Kvike yeast was the fact that I'd be able to chuck it in without having to chill my work down anymore. I could let it get to like 35, which even with my immersion chiller, I can get down to like 35 degrees kind of quick. So that was the main benefit for me. I'll be honest, I managed to chuck it in at 35 degrees, and then I was kind of hoping that, oh, it might finish bubbling and finish fermenting in like 3 days. That didn't happen for me. I checked after like 4 days and it was still bubbling away like a good one. I checked after like 12 hours and it had started fermenting. It was going, but even after like 4 days, it was still bubbling away. And that was for a good 7, 8 days that it was still bubbling away. But it's not giving it any kind of off flavors or anything like that. So like the fact that I can't really control my temperatures for my fermentation has always been a big worry for me. When I'm using normal yeast, I've always been very worried about the fact that I'm not really controlling my temperatures. I mean, it's in a cupboard that is probably kind of stable for its temperatures. The thing I want to do is I want to get myself a fermentation fridge. It's the next step on my brewing ladder, is to get myself a fermentation fridge. But at the minute, I just can't do it. But yes, I managed to pitch this at about 35 degrees, and I've just chucked it in my cupboard. I've stuck a heat belt around it, but I've stuck it in my cupboard. But the temperature will have dropped, but it's fermented out, and I've not got any off taste from the fermentation process. Sometimes, because I've not got the temperature fermentation, especially when it gets like summertime, sometimes you can tell with other yeasts and you get some kind of off flavours. But with the Muscovite yeast, I've managed to chuck it in. There's no off flavours at all from it. Now, hop wise, I'd stuck a blend of hops in that I was hoping was going to give me like a fruit salad kind of taste for it. I was hoping for pineapple, grapefruit, and just because I'd started before and I got strawberry from it, I thought maybe some strawberry. No, I've not got any strawberry taste coming from it, but it is still what I'd class tropical fruit. So like the fruit salad sweets that you had as a kid, it's pretty much come out like that. I'm very pleased with it. Like I say, I've already drank like half a keg of it, so it's going down very well. Especially with the fact that I've been brewing kind of English style beers recently. It's just nice. That is, it's not as in my face as I wanted it to be, but it's very nice. It came out. I know my original gravity was higher than what the recipe was expecting it to be, but it also finished at kind of the same. So it finished out at 5.4%, but it's really easy drinking. As recipes go, as a combination of hops, yeah, it's probably the best beer that I've brewed since I've started doing YouTube again. Although I've not got the strawberries from the strata hops, I think it is still in my like top 3 favourite hops. I don't know what it is about it, but it's a small sample size. But I've brewed twice the strata hops now. Both times I've really enjoyed it. So yeah, Eurovision shite, beer, very good. Until next time, see you later.